We're back with the 17 model McHale baler. We're going to go over the net break adjustment. This has to do with the net feeding in properly, cutting the net clean, so on and so forth. It's basically done here. You've got a jam nut and then a set screw. 10 millimeter wrench. Put the screwdriver on. We're just going to back off our set screw a good amount so we can have some adjustment here. So the manual states to go all the way in till the bottom's out and then start backing off in 1/4 inch increments. If you're in the field by yourself, the best thing to do is just go ahead and back it off one full turn and then go another half and tighten it down. You basically want that brake engaging right as the knife is cutting the net. You really need 2 people to adjust it properly, and we'll kind of go through that in a little bit. But if you're in a bind, the manual actually says to go all the way in with your set screw and then back it off in 1/4 inch increments until you get your net brake set where it needs to be. But what we found is a 1 full turn and 1/4 to a half is usually right where it needs to be. Another thing we didn't talk about earlier is net stretch. It's on this pulley behind the disc brake. And you've got a diagram here, so the closer together those 2 pulleys are, the tighter stretch you have on your net. So if you're having a problem busting bales, the net breaking, that kind of thing with some older net, you've got a set screw on your inside pulley. Take the set screw out, and it's on a shaft that's threaded. You can back off the pulley, just the one solid pulley, and basically widen the pulley out, put your set screw back in, and that'll decrease the amount of stretch you put on your net. Remember, when you tighten back down your set screw on your pulley, look inside that hole. You've got a threaded portion and a flat portion. Make sure you always put the set screw back on the flat portion of the shaft. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to go through setting our net brake properly. So the first thing you want to do is get in the tractor, make sure all your hoses, everything, monitors plugged up, turned on. We're going to put it in the manual mode, then we'll hit our net button, and you should be able to see that moving roller collapse. So now our moving roller is out of the way. Now we can go back and adjust our net system. If you want to collapse your net just to kind of go through the functions, make everything's working, you can hit your cut button and get to the right screen here. So now our net knife's tripped. Again, you can manually reset that knife. Ryan kind of wants to show you how the bill hook looks when the knife is in the cut position. We can show you the net knife when it's in the cut position. So if we tell you to look and say, hey, is your knife down or is it a reset position? You say, well, I don't know. Well, you can look at that bill hook and you can see. So to reset your net knife, like I said, you can manually do it, or you can just pressurize your tailgate down and it'll reset your net knife. This is your net knife reset tool. It stays right here in this slot. If you want to manually reset your knife, take your pointed end, and if you'll feel right here, there's a hole in the actual net knife. Stick it in there. Just lift up on it. So now our knife is in the fully reset position. It's riding all the way down on our shaft here. When you're setting your net brake, you kind of need 2 people, but you're going to use this tool. So the first thing you'll do is you get in the cab, collapse your moving roller. If you look down, our moving roller is out of the way. This lets the net knife fall fully. So basically what you want to do is you lift up on this, take your bill hook, raise it up a little, and then start slowly letting your net knife down, okay? So we're letting it down, letting it down, letting it down. See, now we're not able to turn it. See, it'll turn now. That means our net knife is set too tight. When you're properly setting your net knife, You want your bill hook to be somewhere around 1.5 to 1 3/4 under this gnarled shaft before these tighten up. So when you get to that point, you should not be able to get right here and turn these. So you basically want your brake to grab when your bill hook is almost all the way down.